Why another conference? Doesn't it seem like there's another children's ministry conference every 2 weeks or so? At least that's what it feels like to me. So why would Root KidMin do our own collective, our own KidMin conference? It really comes down to two simple answers. One, it's different. There's every children's ministry conference you go to, and they give you new ways to do the same old things and new excuses to continue pushing forward with the same model that is proven to not work. And so it'd be like saying, hey, you know what, I want my handwriting to last forever. I want what I write down is so important. I want it to last 100 years. And so we grab our pencil and use it. It's not working. So then we sharpen it. It's not working. So we try a different sharpener. It's not lasting the way we want it to last. It sticks around for a little bit, but then it's gone. That's what every children's ministry conference is producing. Another way to sharpen your pencil when it's the pencil that's the problem. It's not going to be able to produce something that lasts forever. That's why we're doing the collective, because we need to do an overhaul of children's ministry. Why we do it, how we do it, our goals for doing it, the perspectives that are continuing us in this mode, this operational dysfunction. I mean, when was the last time you went to a conference and they gave you real answers that worked on how to gain volunteers? When was the last time you went to a conference that gave you real answers on how to impact the parents and pull them in, equip them to be spiritual leaders? The goal's not wrong. The tactics that we're using are way off. And that's why we're doing the Root KidMin Collective. Right there, because it's time to get a conference that pushes people outside their comfort zone to tackle the real issues and bring real answers, not just expose problems, but bring real answers. And if you're looking for real answers in your children's ministry, you gotta join the Root KidMin Collective. It is going to be a power-packed 6 days, 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, so you can easily jump in without massive disruption to your schedule. And Saturday, we're going to have a ton of breakout sessions, all packed into 2 hours. And so you'll have to pick which one makes the most difference for you. But 6 days. And why? So why is it split up this way? We're not going to do a conference like normal. Who's ever been to a conference and you have so much information pumped into you for 12 hours straight, and you're like, oh my word, it's going to take a month to go through all this, and really just, I've got so much I got to, you know what happens? The seed that was sown and just dumped out into a pile into your mind and into your heart is stolen away by the cares of this world, by the enemy's distractions. And the truth is, you put maybe one or two things into practice for a period of time, but most of those don't stick. They don't work long term. That makes an instant like, whoa, we're doing something new. This is exciting. This is fun. But it doesn't produce the long-term results that we're going after. We're not trying to make, or hopefully you're not trying to make a children's ministry so that kids love coming to church. They're not going to be kids forever. And if that's their only reason for coming to church when they go to youth or college or the adult service afterwards, you've given them no tools to stay in your church, to stay in the spiritual training. Spiritual training wasn't an emphasis. It was fun, and it was excitement. And those are the kind of things we're going to deal with. That's just a hint of what we're going to be talking about in the Root KidMin Collective. And the second reason is because you need it. You don't need to hear another flowery message about how you can Just keep going. You're doing amazing. Just keep pushing. Do bigger, better, stronger, faster, and it'll eventually work for us. We have stats that show for 30 years, 20 years, it hasn't. So why keep pushing forward with something that isn't working? Instead, what we need to do is be challenged to grow. I haven't gone to a single practice, boot camp, whatever, sports practice, music practice, where they're like, oh, you're doing just fine. You know what? It's good. Just, do this new way of playing, maybe more comfortable, maybe more fun. This will be more exciting. People, no, what is it? They're pushing you. Hey, you haven't got this done yet. You got to get it done. Hey, how have you been working at this? We're holding you accountable. You got to push through. You got to make this happen. And the training is tough. It's not always fun, but it's exactly what I needed to be able to excel at the things God had gifted me to be or to do. And that's exactly how it is for you in children's ministry. You may have a few people going, rah, rah, keep going. You can do it. You may get the occasional compliment after church on a weekend service where you're like, oh, I needed that because I'm just about to throw in the towel. Maybe we don't have to throw in the towel at children's ministry, but we do need to throw in the towel for how we're doing things, why we're doing things, what is happening in the children's ministry in order for us to accomplish what God has positioned us in children's ministry in the first place. Think about it. How much of, or let's think about it this way. What was it that really pulled you into children's ministry? Just stop and think about that for a second. Then go back and think, and like, okay, it's when I saw this happen, or I saw kids engaging God like I never knew they could, or whatever it would be, right? So how much of that are you able to do in a normal weekend service? How much of that infilling because you're being you're putting effort and time into the things that really stirred you up and activated you into the children's ministry? That's what God used to pull you in. Most children's pastors, it's a zero. Or almost zero. They look forward to, hey, we got camp once a year. We got a weekend excursion once a year that we really see something happen. What about the other 51 weeks in the year? That's not acceptable. If this is what God used to pull you in, it's because that's what he wants to see happen in your children's ministry on a regular basis. That's why you need to be part of the Root KidMin Collective. If you have not signed up yet, you got to do it today. Join in, sign up. As soon as you sign up, you're going to get an email that pops as a link to add it to your calendar so you get reminded. For those of you in North America, every Monday or every morning, you'll get the little bloop, hey, this conference is coming in. Link us in there, and you can jump in with some amazing KidMin leaders that will equip you to spiritually go where you've always wanted to and never had the tracks to get there. I'll see you in the Root KidMin Collective.